guys, welcome to another episode of UBU Yoga. Today, Erin and I are going to show you both Cobra and Upward Facing Dog. These are great poses that help strengthen and stretch out the lower back. Not to mention relieve any kind of lower back pain that you might be experiencing.
Yeah, well, that's shoveling.
Yeah.
Recently.
All that snow we got here in Jersey, that's for sure.
And I am someone that struggles with lower back issues, and so I do like these two exercises because they kind of help with some of that mobility that I just don't naturally have. So I'm really glad that we're sharing these today because, of course, I already feel tight in my lower back, so I'm ready to get to it. If
Okay,
you are.
great. So let's bring it on the mat. Okay. We're going to take it into. Okay. So when you're ready, let's get onto your belly, bone position. Okay, and let's start off by doing some breathing here. Let's take a deep breath in, deep breath out, releasing and letting go. Moving at your own pace as I cue you today, let's bring your hands toward your chest, keeping your fingers wide, keeping in mind that this is a lower back pose. Using the strength from your lower back, let's draw your torso up and away from the ground. Gazing forward, taking a deep breath in, exhale, release, come back down. Beautiful. I'd like to take you into Cobra again, so when you're ready, take a deep breath in, drawing your torso away from the ground, and up. Beautiful. Erin has her feet grounded, her hip points are grounded. Exhale, come back down. I'm going to challenge you to do this one more time. Taking a deep breath in. When you're ready, drawing the torso up and away from the ground. And I want you to lengthen through the neck. Gazing forward, breath in, exhale, lower back down. Beautiful. When you're ready, why don't you come into child's pose position? Beautiful. Drawing your forehead toward your mat. Take a deep breath in, and deep breath out. Releasing and letting go. Only when you're ready, you can take a comfortable seat. How did that feel, honey?
That felt good. Yeah. Okay. I'll be really honest. I like Cobra, but this next pose is probably more my favorite.
More in line with your body?
More in line with my body,
I
yes.
got you. Okay.
So why don't I guide you then through Upward Facing Dog?
Sounds good.
So again, just coming to rest on your mat.
Okay.
And then just take a moment just to sponge. So rest everything down, Annie. Exactly. Create a little pillow with your hands.
Do I have to get up?
Well, if we're going to demonstrate something, yes.
Is it a sleepy Sunday?
Yes, always.
Okay.
So Upward Facing Dog has some of the similar cues as Cobra. But what I like for this is that it's a different kind of challenging, a different kind of stretch, but it still does the same kind of mobility for the spine that we just got with the prior pose. So if you would bring your hands alongside your ribs. Good. Okay. Elbows tucked in towards your ribs. With an inhale, I'm going to ask that you straighten your arms, pressing into your hands. Good. From here, allow the hips to release, not to the ground, but just to release and to soften. Gaze is forward, the neck is long. And with your next exhale, slowly lower your entire body back down to the mat. And allow that forehead to make contact. And if that doesn't feel right, maybe you feel a little suffocated with your mouth right on your mat, feel free to just rest one of your cheeks. When you are ready with your next inhale, I'm going to ask that you press into your hands once more, straightening the arms, keeping the elbows tucked in toward the ribs, shoulders back, heart shining forward, releasing the hips, tops of feet resting against the mats. Exhale, release all the way down. Okay, now some of you might have noticed that Annie isn't really able to rest the tops of her feet into the mat. So I thought, Annie, if you're okay with it, I was going to add a prop just to help give you that grounding effect.
I would love that.
And it should help kind of how you're feeling this pose too in that back, lower back area here. Okay, so I do have a rolled up blanket, cleverly hidden behind. And let's see, what I'm going to have you do, Annie, is can you bend your knees for me?
Sure.
I'm just going to lay this down and then just release the tops of your feet down. And we've played around a little bit with this. Is that about where you need it, Annie?
I think you can bring the blanket up.
Toward you, right?
Yeah.
That's what it was. Okay. So Annie and I have had to kind of play around with this just to make sure that she felt supported once she's up in the pose. Yeah, and just to know too, with Cobra and Upward Facing Dog, you're not going to be lingering these poses for long. So you may not want to necessarily have a prop that you're going to be using. But Annie and I always love to kind of play around with things and see if we can find more ease, right, where there wasn't before.
Yeah.
And so this was a little eye-opening for us, and we just thought we would share it. Yeah. Okay, so come all the way back down onto your mat. Again, just resting your forehead too, or resting your cheek. Good. And then bringing your hands alongside your ribs. Okay, you can even rest your forehead for just a moment. Yeah. All right. And then when you're ready, with that inhale, press the earth away using the strength of your back, the strength of your arms. Beautiful. Now, Annie has told me too, when she's in this pose just a few seconds longer, you can actually kind of see it. Her hips are starting to let go. She's not coming down to the mat. Her entire leg is lifted here, but she now has the support underneath the tops of her feet. Exhale, slowly coming back down. Good. Yeah. And then just take the opportunity, Annie, just to allow the other cheek to rest on the mat. We like to stay nice and balanced here in yoga. How did that feel with the support?
That felt really good. And the nicest thing for me is that when I am supported and I do utilize props, that my muscles melt into them. Yeah. So it allows me to achieve that relaxation in the right areas of my body so that I can concentrate on the pose that I'm doing. So it's a really beautiful thing.
Well, and we've never really used that underneath the tops of your feet. No. So did you feel it differently? Did you feel like that's something that you might entertain every now and again in a class?
I think so. Now, normally these poses, the ones that we just demonstrated for you guys, are transitional poses. Sure. So I don't know that I would actually utilize the blanket in a flow, because then the blanket gets in the way.
Yeah.
But when I'm at home and I just want to rest in the pose or refine it,
sure,
and really get in touch with it, I'm definitely going to use the blanket.
Yeah, that's great.
I appreciate that. I think it's great.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Good. Now, I did not bring you into a child's pose. Would you like to do that now?
I would love it. I'm actually going to use the blanket for this.
Yeah. Yeah, and absolutely. It's going to serve both purposes here. So a lot of times when I'm teaching a class, Annie, and I bring students into a child's pose after a Cobra or an upward facing dog, I like to have students bring their knees together, because what I find is it kind of, and you can still stick your hips back. Yeah, but it allows for more of this curve, especially after such a deep back. But of course, you always have the option of taking the knees apart too. But there's just something about this after a back bend that I feel just Hits it right.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. And then with your next breath or two, find a seat. Thank you so much for joining us today for these kind of smaller back bends, but you can make them juicy and you can really get a lot out of them. You know, taking the time to stretch the spine before and after actually activity is definitely recommended. Cold weather, getting older, all those moments, take the time to take care of your spine.
Yeah, I agree. These are small but mighty.
For sure. Well
Yeah.
said. Yeah.
So thank you so much for watching. We hope that you enjoyed this video. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.